magical rhyme, so much more than you will ever know. You can't ignore the music, reggae is so profound. And when it comes to the track, you know that Jamaica won't back down.
On top of the world,
we're more than just an island in the sun. A great nation, Bob Marley say, welcome everyone to Jamaica, sweet Jamaica. Come experience the culture.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
12 noon.
It's credible and factual. The World at Noon on Nationwide 90 FM.
Good afternoon, I'm Andrew Cannon. In the World at Noon for this Sunday, December 22, 2024, road repairs in sections of the corporate area being funded by China Harbour under the liabilities defect mechanism, says the government. Police warn the public to be vigilant during the Christmas period. PMP says a trade imbalance and poor planning are choking Jamaica's supply chains. In regional news, Tobago House Assembly and Road Company in legal battle. On the international scene, Cyclone Chido kills 94 people in Mozambique. While in sport, England recall route for ODIs but Stokes left out. The details after this.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Minister without portfolio is the Minister of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Meg JC, with responsibility for works. Robert Morgan says the ongoing works on Constant Spring Road in St. Andrew is part of a liability repairs program being funded by China Harbour Engineering Company. Minister Morgan says such works, as well as the work being undertaken on Hackley Park Road, is not part of the reach patching program that was announced by the government.
Constant Spring Road is still under warranty, what is called a defects liability period. So the main contractor under the Major Infrastructure Development Program had to give the government a warranty in case anything happened to the road. They'd be obligated to fix it without cost. So there were some defects on Constant Spring Road, on Hagley Park Road and in Barbican. And what you have seen over the last several weeks is the main contractor, China Harbour Engineering, repairing those defects.
He says the patching program is on target to commence during the Christmas period.
If you see us resurfacing these roads, it's not under the patching program. And we're not crazy to have very bad roads and then take the money and patch roads that are not in a necessarily as bad condition. So we ask for your understanding as we have started the Reach Patching Program, $2 billion in emergency patching. And as over the Christmas period up to January, we'll be doing more repairs on roads all across the island.
Robert Morgan, Minister without portfolio in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation, Meg JC, with responsibility for works. The Jamaica Constabulary Force, JCF, is reminding the public to be vigilant during the Christmas period to avoid being victims of crimes. In a release, the constabulary says the public should adhere to safety guidelines, whether for road safety, personal security, or public conduct. It also says the public should stay vigilant and be mindful of their surroundings, especially in crowded or unfamiliar spaces, and report suspicious activities by contacting Crime Stop at 311, the JCF tip line at 811, or visit the nearest police station. The JCF has noted that the Christmas period has unique challenges, as alongside the joy of the period, there are concerns as criminal activities such as theft, fraud, and public disturbances tend to increase during the festive season. Meanwhile, the JCF is highlighting its duty to the nation and says oftentimes the men and women in uniform will have to spend time away from their families to keep the country safe, but they remain steadfast to the sacrifice of creating a safe and secure environment for all Jamaicans. A 49-year-old female pedestrian is dead following a collision in Falmouth, Trelawney about 7 p.m. on Saturday, December 21. According to reports from the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch, PSTEB, the motorcycle was traveling along the Wiltshire Main Road from the direction of Falmouth heading towards Greenwood. Upon reaching the vicinity of the Flamingo service station, it is alleged that the motorcycle made contact with the pedestrian who was in the process of crossing the roadway. Both the driver of the motorcycle and the pedestrian were rushed to the hospital, where the pedestrian was pronounced dead upon arrival. The driver of the motorcycle is admitted in serious condition. According to the opposition People's National Party PNP, trade imbalance and poor planning are choking Jamaica's supply chains. The declaration comes against the background of what has been described as the annual Christmas congestion at the Port of Kingston. According to opposition spokesman on investment, trade and global logistics Anthony Hilton, the congestion is due to the government's inaction, ineptitude and lack of vision in capitalizing on the opportunities the port presents to local businesses. He describes the port as a global and local asset. Mr. Hilton is insisting that until the cargo imbalance that characterizes Jamaica's trade situation is addressed, the annual congestion at the Port of Kingston will remain a source of frustration and risk to local importers, including manufacturers and distributors. The opposition spokesperson said while the current congestion stems partly from uncertainties in the global and regional shipping industry, Jamaica's inability to develop the logistics infrastructure in and around the Port of Kingston has been the key inhibiting factor. He is asserting that the shortfall undermines the port's resilience and flexibility and prevents it from being recognized by the global maritime industry as a logistics hub and a major player in regional and global trade, despite its status as a well-known transshipment hub. A 42-year-old man has been charged with arson after he set a man's house on fire following a dispute. He is Dwayne Constantine, otherwise called Pops or Silver, a higgler of Maccorner Palmos Cross. The incident had taken place in the community on Wednesday, December 18. Reports from the Mapen police are around 9 p.m. Constantine and another man had an argument, after which he went to the man's house and set it on fire. The police and the fire department were alerted and the fire was contained. During an investigation into the matter, Constantine was arrested. He confessed to the crime during an interview after he was subsequently charged. His court date is being arranged. And on to news in the region. A multi-million-dollar legal battle is brewing between the Tobago House of Assembly and the Warner Construction and Sanitation Company over the island's 2019-2021 road resurfacing program. Warner Construction and Sanitation Limited, owned by Alan Warner, took the Tobago House Assembly to court earlier this year, seeking approximately $46 million in outstanding payments allegedly owed for works done as part of the work program. However, in a countersuit in November, the Tobago House Assembly issued a pre-action protocol letter demanding that Warner Company and its owner repay $66.9 million. Warner Construction's claim is before the courts and is sub judice. However, the Guardian newspaper in Trinidad obtained a copy of the Tobago House Assembly pre-action protocol letter to Warner Construction Company. In the pre-action protocol letter, the Tobago House Assembly accused Warner Construction of gross financial misconduct during the 2019-2021 road resurfacing program, leading up to the 2021 December Tobago House of Assembly elections. The allegations are based on a forensic audit conducted by the Trinidad-based Caribbean Institute of Forensic Accounting. According to the Caribbean Institute of Forensic Accounting, Warner Construction received $121.4 million for the Emergency Restoration Works Program, Road Restoration Program, Road Resurfacing Program, Disbursement to the Capital Grants Program, and Emergency Grant Works between October 1, 2019 and November 30, 2021. The audit flagged at least $66.9 million for what it called non-existent roads, incomplete work, and overpriced contracts. To news now on the international scene, Cyclone Chido has killed 94 people in Mozambique since it made landfall in the East African country last week, local authorities have said. The country's National Institute of Risk and Disaster Management said 768 people were injured and more than 622,000 people affected by the natural disaster in some capacity. Chido hit Mozambique on the 15th of December with winds of 260 kilometers per hour and 250 millimeters of rainfall in the first 24 hours. The same cyclone had first wreaked havoc in the French Indian Ocean territory of Mayotte before moving on to Mozambique, Malawi, and Zimbabwe. And now to sport. England have recalled batter Joe Root to their men's one-day international squad for the Tour of India and the 2025 Champions Trophy, but the injured Ben Stokes, he has missed out. Root, ranked number 1 in the Test batting rankings, has 171 ODI caps, but has not played for the White Ball side since an outing at the World Cup in November 2023. He is part of a 15-player squad that also includes pace bowler Mark Wood following his recovery from a right elbow injury. England Test captain Stokes has not been selected because of a hamstring injury he suffered in the third Test in New Zealand earlier this month. And now for a recap of the top stories making the world at noon. Road repairs in sections of the corporate area being funded by China Harbour Engineering Company under the liabilities defect mechanism, says the government. Police warn the public to be vigilant during the Christmas period. PMP says trade imbalance and poor planning are choking Jamaica's supply chains. You can find the news on our website at nationwideradiojm.com and on the Nationwide app available on Google Play and the App Store. News is next at 6 tomorrow morning, but stay tuned as we go to the amazing word.
Come into the